day I met Sanjeev, actually, I really thought he was married to my sister-in-law. I didn't know he had come to visit me as a prospective bride to be and so on. So I thought that they are married. So it was only that when we were going in the car towards Ashoka, where he said, he was sitting in the front, I was sitting in the back, and he said, "Tu es très beau." And I just said, "Oh God, he's married and he's flirting with me." But then I said, "No, you shouldn't say beau, you're grammatically wrong. You should have said tu es belle." When we reached Ashoka, I started understanding he was calling that lady Bhabhi. I said, "Oh, so he's not married, then he's single." And then when I was serving my little brother, it was a buffet and I was serving my brother, I saw him looking at me. When I was serving my little brother, I just looked up to see what the person looked like. So when I looked up to see what he looked like, I saw that he was looking at me. And I think I actually blushed. I had a feeling that I blushed. I don't know whether it really showed or not. But there was something nice about it since the first time I met him.
I had just completed my training and I had gone for army attachment and was returning from there to Meerut. At that time, there was no question of my getting married. I thought now I've completed my training, I've got into a job and I will now relax for a year or two before the thinking in terms of marriage also. I also wanted to write the IAS examination. So, but when I reached Meerut, my father said that, well, tomorrow we have to go to Delhi, such and such person has come and there's no harm, you come and we'll meet them and come back. And so when we reached Delhi and I met her, instantly at the first impression when I saw her, I got the feeling that I have to marry this particular girl. And of course, we never talked to each other. We went to Ashoka for lunch, and as she has just described, for the first time when we looked each other, I mean when जब जिसे कहते हैं नजरें मिली तो पहली बार ही ऐसा था कि she was serving food buffet. It was a buffet lunch, and I was looking at her, and she looked at me. I had made up my mind at that point itself that she's the girl. I have to marry her. Then I immediately, when we left their place, I told my parents, father, and then rest is history. We got married.
I just remember that people kept saying that Dula aa gaya, barat nahi aayi. But I didn't see that. He'll tell you more about that.
Well, I'll say two things there. One, firstly, when I was getting ready for the evening, there was no preparation that way. I didn't have a tie. And then with my brother-in-law, we just rushed to the South Ex market, bought a tie, and then got ready. Then for going for wedding, there was no transport or no car which was meant for bridegroom. So, well, there was an ambassador car, I think the car of one of the guests maybe. So they said, okay, you sit in this car itself. So I sat in that car, and rather than stopping in between, you know, the marriage was at 100 Lodi Estate, and the Barat was collecting at the petrol pump just before Lodi, that house. So the driver just took me straight away to the venue of the wedding. Then everybody was surprised how the car has come without the Barat being coming. So then he reversed and went back, and then I came with the Barat. So that was very funny that way. Well, it has been a wonderful relationship. I think my life completely changed after my marriage. I was quite introvert, not very social. But after marriage, certainly things changed, and she was always very full of life. So we had really very good time together. And one thing which I always admired and appreciated was that she always thought of my happiness. She did everything which made me feel happy. And secondly, that the type of job subsequently I was doing, she was a very, very big asset. Again, one more thing, I will say that she always encouraged me in the sense that she never said, "Arey tumhe to nahi aata, tumhe ye nahi hai, tumhe wo nahi." Whenever I said that I think I'm not that good in that or doing not that well, it was she, no, you are very good, you are very, always encouraging. Every way she was always encouraging. So I will say I don't recall even a single time when she said that, kahan aake mera, kahan aa gayi, kaise aa gayi. They were in Geneva, from Geneva coming to Muradabad, adjusting there it's not easy. Especially when her parents were moving from Geneva to New York. Any girl at that age would have thought that she will go to New York and do her college in New York. She was happily came and brought happiness in the house, I will say.
Somebody says 50 years. I think when I got married, I used to think 2 years is a long time. And right now, 50 years seem to have just flown by. Time just flies by when you have a good time. And time with Sanjeev has been always very nice. He was an introvert, maybe sometimes short-tempered also. But the thing which I always knew is that he loves me. And that is enough to keep your life going. Whether it was good times or tough times or easy times or holiday times, this knowing that he loves me deeply has kept me afloat through tough times. I've had major physical problems. He has not deterred one moment from looking after my interest or my comfort, many times giving up his own comfort. And I couldn't have asked for a better life partner.
For their long and happy marriage. Without my humor and without my difficult childhood, I don't think they would have made it. Please join in, celebrating this occasion with my parents. They're going to be cutting a cake.
Wedding and all that, we avoided those things. We played games and now we're going to cake. But Papa, I just want to say, for you to say a few words.
All I would like to thank all the friends who have come here to join us on this very happy occasion when we are completing 50 years of our very exciting life together. Thank you, Neeta, who have joined us on this very, very special occasion for us. Thank you.
Marriage wouldn't have been all that happy to have so many loving friends, their support and affection. Thank you so much.
So, Mummy, Papa, I have seen you over the last 40 something years since I've been your daughter.
And I must tell you that you are the most romantic couple that I know. And you've really set a benchmark for what relationships should look like. I think both of you are so different. Mummy, you are this creative, crazy, vivacious, bubbly woman, and Papa, you're more analytical, adventurous, sporty, intellectual guy. Mom, you're an extrovert. Papa, you're an introvert on most days. Mom, you love talking about any and everything. Papa, you love discussing geopolitics. You know, very, very different people. But it's incredible how you both have found such a fantastic equilibrium together. You know, by giving each other space to do things on your own, and at the same time coming together and, you know, finding activities in common. You know, whether that is when we were younger, I remember you guys used to go golfing every weekend together, and I was your caddy many times, to going to the gym together, and now how you play cards together every day. I think it's just an inspiration how you manage to do your own stuff and then find each other at the end of every day and have that quality time together. You know, you're much more than just my parents. You are also my best friends, and I wish you such a fantastic, happy 50th anniversary. I don't know where time has gone, because I remember your, you know, anniversaries earlier, and you know, 50 always sounded like something you do for your grandparents, not for your own parents. But that's how time is. It goes by very fast. But I wish you both good health. I wish you both a long life, and I wish that you continue to find joy in your family and each other's company over the next few years.
What people don't know is actually that I've met my in-laws even before being in a relationship with Tulika. Actually, even my father-in-law might not remember it himself. And I used to be a student in Gurgaon in India, and I used to hang out with my future mother-in-law, as she loved speaking French with me and taking me to a class, etc. And I remember once I had no car, and she told me, okay, I'll get you dropped, but first you have to come with me and we have to pick up my husband because we have a function to attend. But first I'll go to another function. So I very patiently went from a function to another, and the first function was actually an award for you, my mother-in-law, by all the students, an entire amphitheater of students giving you an award for being the best teacher they'd ever had. And I think it kind of introduced to me who you are and how people loved you for how special you make them feel and how you can give to them on a daily basis. And then we picked up my future father-in-law, who was super busy, going from a meeting to another and going to a function. And we barely spoke. We are both kind of introverts, but I did feel extremely comfortable immediately. And I dropped them both to another function. I think it also introduced who you are as a couple, going from one function to another, one event, one party to another every night. So that was my first meeting with my father-in-law and with both of you to a certain extent. And I think things haven't changed. You're both super active, going from one party to another, meeting your friends, your relatives, your colleagues and peers. And my mother-in-law has always been extremely warm, and still today she is. And my father-in-law, busy but sincere. And I love you both. You know, until you get married, I think it's your parents who are your model in terms of what a relationship should look like and could be. I've been I'm extremely grateful that when I married Tulika, I also married a fantastic family and an amazing in-laws. I've been extremely lucky to have probably the best in-laws in the world. You guys are a model for us. I was watching you earlier today, and you're the cutest couple ever. I think I've learned so much from you. I see how you both are two individuals with very different personalities, and yet you found a balance where you're both here for each other, supporting each other, despite your very different personalities. And both of you couldn't imagine a life without the other and the other one. And I think it's extremely cute. It's a couple goals, and I'm so happy to be here to celebrate your 50th anniversary with you today. I wish you many more anniversary together. I think you deserve it. You're one of the cutest couple in the world. So love you, happy anniversary, and to many, many, many more.
Mom, Dad, we don't stop celebrating just because your 50th anniversary celebrations are over. Hopefully you really enjoyed this video and you relive this day. But I look forward that we together as a family build many, many more joyful memories in the months and years to come. We love you so much and we wish you all the best.
A lot of who I am as a person and as a partner comes from how I've seen mom and dad in their relationship. Papa dotes on mom. He's very, very caring for her. He makes sure that her happiness is his happiness. He's always around her. And mummy, she believes in dad. She believes in the man that he became, and she believed in it before everybody else did. And she's always supported him, supported the entire family. She's brought us all together. Together, mom and dad are a bit like yin and yang. The best of my father compliments my mother, and the best of my mother compliments him. And I am very, very lucky that I get to see the both of them and, you know, steal a little bit of the best of both of them and keep them for myself. In the beginning, my father was slightly socially awkward, let's admit it, Dad. Whereas mom knew all about the world and how to be in it. And I've seen my mother grow my father into being this confident man that he is now. At the same time, I think my father has also learned how to be more caring, more gentle, kinder, and his care and gentleness and kindness towards my mom was always there, but he's able to demonstrate that much, much more to my mother and frankly to the entire family as well. Over the last 50 years, I've seen the relationship evolve from being just a marriage perhaps, where everybody's busy doing family things, to being this real bond that I think no one can deny. So since I've been a kid, I've seen 2 or 3 things which I love about mom and dad. One is, from all the way back then to all the way back now, dad likes to sing mom a song. It could be any song, it could be at any time, and it's always out of tune, but he loves to sing it and she loves to hear it. I've seen mom just quietly be there as a support for my father. Her optimism has, rang through the house for the last 50 years. Her positive attitude, her loving attitude towards not just my father but his family has been something that has made us all so happy over the years. I credit mom for such strong friendship and bonding between all of us. And over the last 50 years, that's what I've been able to see. Well, let's be honest, I only saw the first 45 years, but over that time, that's what I've been able to see, that my mother and my father have been able to support each other, have been able to grow together, and that's something that's inspirational for all of us. Happy 50th anniversary, Mom. Happy 50th anniversary, Dad. Thank you so much for being a part of my life since I was born. And I love you both very, very much. And here's to another 50 years and to having another party 50 years from now.
Well, I was 7 years old when Didi got married, and it was quite a blur to me. And it was very interesting to see my dear sister, who was 17 at the time, meet somebody and decide to marry him in a matter of just a few weeks. But it was a tremendous experience. It was bittersweet. On one side, there was this amazing wedding that was being planned, and so much of activity, so much of happiness. And after that, there was so much of sadness that my second mom, my Neeta Didi, was going to go away. So I was crushed and I was happy. But 50 years from now, I am the happiest person on earth, seeing Didi and Jiaji together. Who is this guy? And why is he taking my sister away? And that was the thought of a 7-year-old who loved his sister and did not want his sister to go to anybody else but him. So Didi taught me so much when I was young. She taught me my kindergarten, my class 1. We'd sit on the dining table and then she was going to go away. And so meeting Jijaji was lovely because I knew he would take care of her, he would love her, he would be everything for her. But until that time, she was everything for me. I probably remember not saying good things to him. I probably remember him saying, how are you? My name is Sanjeev. And I would have said, yeah, that's fine, but why are you taking my sister away? So I think that's what really the story was. A life lesson to see how two people who can be very different come together and spend 50 years of their life together. So I remember Jijaji being so involved with cricket and sports, so committed to the office. And I remember Didi wanting his time, being so romantic and wanting all the time in the world with him. And they've come to this happy balance today where they are together every day. They have the best time together. They travel, they share their lives. And it really shows how wonderful 50 years can be together. Well, Didi, Jijaji, I am so happy to be here 50 years on. It kind of tells me that I'm 50 years older as well. I could not see a happier or more satisfied couple than the two of you today. And I just wish you every single happiness. You raised 2 wonderful kids. You have grandchildren. You are just the best couple that I know in the world. Happy anniversary to you both.
So here I was howling, and here was my sister telling me to buy that particular shade of lipstick from that particular store and buy me that nightie. I couldn't understand a thing because I was busy bawling. So that was my sister. She was so young. For her, marriage was probably just an excuse to, dress up and become the doll. And she was so beautiful. So I can understand it now. But at that point of time, I was miserable. I think he was horrible. Why did he take my sister away? That's all my reaction was. That's it. But he was very sweet to me and he took care because my parents did not go for a function that they organized, but I went, and all of them. And I have to say that the entire Tripathi family, they have treated me like a sister or a daughter. They have really given me so much love that I have never felt any, different from their family.
When did I first meet Neeta? Twinkle Soni was getting married, and there we went. I went and I met Sanjeev. Sanjeev then said that he was posted as ASP in Agra. And I said, great. This was after a long time after we'd left Bareilly. And then he said, oh, you must come and meet my wife. And that is for the first time I met Neeta. She said, well, this is Neeta, and she's from New York, and blah, blah, blah. So that was the first meeting when I met them.
I will say that they have been a unique couple. We have seen them crazy. They have never boarded a train or a flight on time. They have managed to shove the luggage through the windows, and maybe the kids also, and then maybe they got onto the train. So we've seen that. They also managed to leave their servant behind on one of the flights. So that is how they have been as a younger couple. But then on a serious note, they've been posted across the world. They've picked up a lot of the cultures of the different countries that they have lived in. And it's not easy to be posted abroad, to come back to India, to have 2 children, their education. It's not easy. And I have to say that each one of them is really a source of inspiration. Didi has kept bad health, but anyone who does not know about it will never even imagine that she's got these problems. And Jijaji has been a source of strength constantly. His fitness level, his sports, his He has maintained himself so well. So I have to say that as a couple, they have both set an example, for a lot of people. So that's how I feel.
Well, I mean, that is one young couple that we've known. They've stayed young all their lives, I mean, and they still are. A great golfing couple, and one has always admired the way they've been together, the way they've lived a life, the way they've done everything from work to partying to gallivanting, and I think that has been the most impressionable part of their time together.
So we're absolutely delighted that they're celebrating 50 years of their married life. Naturally, we are missing our parents and and his parents, but wonderful that they are celebrating it in such great style with Tulika and Vaso and Tarun putting in so much effort to make it so memorable. So we wish them a lot of good luck, good health for the many, many years together.
So they've completed the first 50, and I think we look forward to the next 50. The way they are going, yes, we should be celebrating the next 50 also.
नीता संजीव की शादी जब हुई थी तब मैं उसको अटेंड नहीं कर पाया था। उसका कारण ये था कि मेरी छोटी बहन रीता के देवर की शादी बॉम्बे में थी, इसलिए मुझे घर से वहाँ पे शादी अटेंड करने के लिए भेज दिया गया था, इसलिए मैं अटेंड नहीं कर पाया था, जिसका मुझे अभी तक अफसोस है। संजीव मेरा भांजा है, लेकिन उससे मेरी मित्रता जो है ज़्यादा है। मतलब हम लोगों में 20 दिन का फ़र्क है और बहुत ही हम लोग मित्रता एक दूसरे से प्रारंभ से रही है। जब नीता की शादी का मुझे पता लगा, मैंने नीता को देखा भी था और संजीव ने मुझे बताया कि वो कभी कभी पिक्चर के लिए में काम करने वाली थी, लेकिन चूंकि शादी तय हो गई थी इसलिए जो है वो पिक्चरों में नहीं आई। और नीता उस वक्त जो है देखने में तो बहुत ही खूबसूरत थी, और संजीव तो खैर मेरा भांजा, मेरा मित्र जो था वो तो मुझे बहुत ही प्रिय लगता ही था। ये सुंदर, स्मार्ट और वेरी वेल एजुकेटेड वो सब था ही जो है। और संजीव के बारे में 2-3 इंसिडेंट्स मैं कोट करना चाहूँगा कि पतंग जो है संजीव उड़ाते थे। तो एक बार पतंग ये उड़ा रहे थे और उड़ाते उड़ाते पीछे एक मतलब उसमें एक होल था जहाँ पे पतंग उड़ा रहे थे, तो संजीव उस होल में गिर गए। तो ये फिर खैर हम लोगों ने इनको किसी तरह से निकालने के बाद फिर ये दोबारा फिर उसमें गिर गए पतंग उड़ाते हुए, और इनके जो है यहाँ पे कट आ गया था। वो कट इनके आज तक है जो है। संजीव जो है पिक्चरों के बड़े शौकीन थे। जब ये इलाहाबाद विश्वविद्यालय में पढ़ते थे तो जब कभी भी ये लखनऊ आते थे तो इनको हम जल्दी जाने नहीं देते थे और इनको स्टेशन छोड़ने जाते थे साइकिल से, और इनको इधर उधर घुमा के ट्रेन का टाइम निकाल दिया करते थे। फिर से अगले दिन, और इसी तरह से 2-3 बार तो ऐसा हो ही जाता था, तब ये जा पाते थे जो है। बहुत लोगों को देखा है, लेकिन हस्बैंड वाइफ में इतनी अच्छी रिलेशनशिप मैंने बहुत कम लोगों में देखी है। बहुत अच्छी रिलेशनशिप जो है, ये जो इनकी रिलेशनशिप जो रही है वो बिल्कुल स्मूथ एक सी रही है। उसमें कोई मतलब रिमार्केबल इंसिडेंट मुझे नहीं याद आ रहा है, क्योंकि बिल्कुल एक सी स्मूथ सेलिंग इनकी रिलेशनशिप में रही है, और बहुत ही अच्छी एक दूसरे के लिए जो है बहुत ही अच्छे जो है लोगों में रहे। मैं चाहता हूँ इसी तरह से ये लोग जो है स्वस्थ रहें और इसी तरह का प्रेम इन लोगों में बना रहे, और इनके जो बच्चे हैं वो सब बहुत ही जो है अच्छी तरह से रहें और इनकी बिटिया तुलिका, बेटा तरुण जो है वो हमेशा जो है इनके निकट रहे और इन लोगों में प्रेम बना रहे। बस यही कहेंगे कि जो है ये लोग इन लोगों की रिलेशनशिप जो है एज इट इज़ चलती रहे और बहुत दीर्घायु और स्वस्थ रहते हुए दीर्घायु हों दोनों।
So my first memories of Chachi and Chacha go back to when I was in Allahabad, and Chacha used to be in Pratapgarh, and that was the time when Tarun was born. And I remember going to the hospital in Allahabad and meeting Chachi and Chacha, and Tulika was like how many, 3 years old, I guess, or 1 or 2. Yeah, so that's how it started. And then obviously the big ones of our childhood were time spent in Dehradun and Mussoorie. Jab Chachi would get all of us together, play games. So it was basically when Chachi was around, it was all fun and excitement. Chacha, on the other hand, was, at least at that time, used to be more a persona of more gravitas and seriousness. And somehow that impression was created at that time. And now when you look back, you are like, how did that come about? Probably just our impression of him. But we would be very, very uptight when we were around him, right? But now, as I said, with time, I think that has changed tremendously. So I think the uniqueness here for Chachi and Chacha is that they are very, very different individuals when you look at them individually, right? Chachi more bubbly, great sense of humor, life of the group party. Chacha more serious, very tremendous personality and temperament, very, very intellectual. But when you look at them together, that is like a couple that has its own personality, that brings this all together. And I think that really makes them click. Because when you think of Chacha, you'd always think of Chachi along with him. And the other way around, when you talk about Neeta Chachi, you will always think of Chacha along with her. So basically, that's what that Sanjeev, Neeta, Sanjita, I would say, comes together when they are together. So Chachi Chacha, happy 50th anniversary. When you look back, it never seems that 50 years have gone by. First of all, you both look much younger than having spent 50 years of marriage together. And at the same time, basically, when you think of times together, for me, as I said, my first childhood memories have been of you around us. And that's been there. You guys have been there in our lives since then. And wish you many, many more years of togetherness. And hopefully we'll be celebrating 60th, 70th, 80th as we move forward. All the best.
Yeah, I think I remember of them from the time I was very, very small as well. And I think the earliest memories, which is very, very faint memory, was of the vacations that we used to do together in Mussoorie. And I still remember Chachi was the playful but also sometimes scary one, that I will cut your cut this into pieces, and then she had put nicknames for all of us at that point in time, and I think which still stuck on for quite some time. अगर मैं चाचा की बात करूँ, I think the memories are, at least the childhood ones, not as vivid, because I think somehow we were all very scared of him. And I think scared in the sense कि अगर if he would get into the room, he will try to get out. Yeah, or conversations avoid जितना कर सकते थे is something that we always used to do. So it was a very different individual kind of a relationship. With Chachi, I think it grew big time over the time, in the sense that very, very close and very, very warm and affectionate. And I somehow always sensed that I was one of her favorites. I mean, even if others might have a problem with that, but it for me, that was something that always came across. Or between the two of them, I think they were always the dynamics that I saw, always a very happening couple. I mean, a kind of where things used to happen. I think with the social life, with the partying, with the whole thing together as well. And I think both of them, at least what I have seen, is that both of them have played a big role in each other's growth as well. In the sense, I think with a little bit of changes that I see in the two of them, I think have come because they have very different personalities. I mean, if you see, like, as unalike as possible, and still to kind of find that thing where they both thrive in each other's company, I think is something which is amazing.
So when I met her the first time, she was like, I never thought the mother-in-law can be so cool. And she told me, now you're getting married in the Tripathi family. So be sure you never gain weight, because ऋषभ को पहले मोटापा दिख जाता है कहाँ पे कहाँ मोटे होते हैं. And फिर धीरे 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 करके I kept meeting her. She took me for shopping for my शादी. She always used to call me Shraddha Rani. Until now she calls me Shraddha Rani. And she would say, I'm like your mother, come sit in my lap. She's always so sweet. Till now she calls me Shraddha Rani. फिर उसके बाद after I got married, I went to Lucknow. So Papa and Chacha were sleeping in a room, but the TV was still on. So I said, they're sleeping, can I go switch off the TV? She said, नहीं त्रिपाठी की शादी पहले होती है टीवी से, बाद में आती है बीवी. So she's been always so sweet and like a mother to me.
When I look at the last few years, I would say, or the time that I have also grown and matured, and I see things a little differently. One is the Chacha that I see now is so different from those times, in the sense I think he's a friend. I think the kind of conversations that we have, and the conversation that he wants to have, I think it is something that is so much fun, and I think the way they take care of each other right now, I think is something that I wish, I think that we will, when we age and we are in that state, I think we could be like this. Especially अभी जब वो लोग Bangalore आए थे, and I think with the recent history of Chachi and her leg, and I think the way Chacha is always by her side and kind of ensuring that she's fine, she's okay, and not missing out on anything. I think that's the most important thing. ऐसा नहीं है कि अच्छा अगर कुछ problem है या कुछ है, then I will go or you don't come and all that. I think they'll always be together, and despite of whatever the other situations are, I mean, they will find a way to still enjoy in the best possible way. So that's something I think which I would say is something really, really amazing. And of course, it's always the banter the two of them have is always so much fun to watch. And I mean, at least what I know is that, I mean, their thing of playing rummy every night and before, I think it's something so wonderful.
Dear Chacha Chachi, I wish you lots and lots of good health. I want Chachi active like she was before, doing everything, and we just admire that part of you. That you take out time for everybody and you just, make everything so grand for everyone around. And for Chacha ji, it is so nice and so warm whenever you are around. आप इतने प्यार से हम सबसे बात करते हैं. It is so nice to be around you. Your aura is wonderful.
Chachi, I think the only thing that I want is that things remain the way they are. I think the way the two of you are, the way things are, as I said, despite some health things here and there, I think your spirit is the one which is the most important and which never kind of goes down. So I think that's something that I hope always stays. And yeah, I think the warmth and the affection that you always show is something that keeps pulling us back, and also the way you take care of our parents is something that we are really grateful for. So I just wish the two of you really good health, the two of you lots and lots of more years of togetherness, and with us as well.
For Nani, she has British. She was always there for Nana, and she's also always there for anybody when they need it. I also think that Nani also puts people in front of her. Nana, on the other hand, he's always with Nani. And he's very active. And together, especially in pictures, they look very well together. I think Nana, he developed his learning while being with Nani, and I've only been there for 8 years, so I can't think of that many things. Nani Nana, I wish you a very happy 50th anniversary. Since I've only been there for 8 years, I hope you can live another 50 years for this to happen again. And this time, I will set it up, not Mommy. I hope that you have a very nice time together, and I love you a lot.
हम लोग आगरा में थे, पता चला कि किसी ने पापा जी को कांटेक्ट किया है संजीव की शादी के लिए, तो वी वर वेरी एक्साइटेड। फिर हम लोग सब मेरठ पहुँचे, मेरठ में पापा जी के साथ दिल्ली गए, वहाँ पे डैडी मम्मी नीता सबसे मिले, बड़ा मज़ा आया।
हम और संजीव करीब हम लोग साथ ही में जॉब में आए थे, तो मिलते रहते थे, आना जाना बात होती रहती थी। और सडनली फिर ये बीच में टूर पे भी गए हुए थे और हम अपना आगरा में थे अपनी सर्विस में एज यूजुअल। तब ये पता चला कि इनका कहीं कुछ ऐसी बात हुई है और कहीं से चल रही, तो हम लोग को पापा ने ये कहा कि तुम लोग आ जाओ, हम चलना है एक जगह। और हम लोग आए थे। फिर उसके बाद एज यूजुअल हम दिल्ली आए जहाँ था, और हम लोगों ने साथ में गए और इन लोगों को देखा नीता को, और
हम लोग को बहुत पसंद
आगे
आई,
से,
हम लोग बहुत एक्साइटेड
शुरू से ही
ये हुआ कि
देखने के
वेट
बाद
नहीं
ही। और
करेंगे,
सर आप
जल्दी जल्दी शादी कर दी।
अच्छा फैमिली पता ही था, अच्छी फैमिली है देखने पे। और डैडी भी इम्प्रेसिव लगे जितना बात किया, और फिर वो देखा तो बहुत अच्छा लगा।
फिर एक हफ्ते बाद ही एंगेजमेंट हो गई और शादी की डेट भी निकल आई महीने भर बाद।
संजीव शुरू से अपनी जॉब के लिए तो थे ही, ही वॉज काइंड ऑफ वेरी सिंसियर फॉर हिज जॉब। और शुरू से अच्छा, नीता अच्छी थी देखने में भी, बात करने में भी। और बीच में इसके फिल्म से भी ऑफ़र आते रहे। एक आध बार तो ये हुआ कि सब चली जाए या ना जाए, और उसमें कुछ बात भी चली कुछ आपस में। अल्टीमेटली फिर ये डिसीज़न लिया संजीव ने भी और नीता ने भी शायद जॉइंटली कि नहीं जाएंगे। शायद त्रिशूल थी मुझे लगता है,
कभी कभी
कभी कभी या हाँ कभी कभी। तो अल्टीमेटली फिर ये हुआ। और क्योंकि यश चोपड़ा इनके फैमिली फ्रेंड थे डैडी के, तो काफ़ी बीच में चर्चा रही। लेकिन फिर रिलेशन हम लोग के साथ रहे भी ये। हम आगरा में थे तो संजीव वहाँ पे ADC2 गवर्नर थे, उसके गवर्नर से होके यहाँ SP रूरल होके आगरा आए थे। हम आगरा में पोस्टिंग थी, फिर वहाँ से हम इलाहाबाद गए, तो इलाहाबाद में बगल में प्रतापगढ़ में SP की पोस्ट पे आए। तो हम लोग का मिलना जुलना लगातार रहा। तरुण की पैदाइश पहले इलाहाबाद में हुई थी, हमारे यहाँ ही बचपन में था।
तुलिका इलाहाबाद,
तुलिका भी छोटी थी
आगरा में
तुम्हारा। हाँ,
तब हम लोग आगरा में ही थे।
तो जहाँ तक हमने देखा रिलेशनशिप बहुत अच्छी थी। और नीता अपना
सबके साथ बहुत अच्छी थी,
सब था हम लोग के साथ। जो हमारे साथ भी हम लोग साथ संजीव अपना भाई तो थे, लेकिन एज के हिसाब से भी वैसे भी शुरू से हम लोग एज फ्रेंड भी रहे, तो हमेशा बहुत अच्छा रहा।
तो हमारा उनका तो बहुत ही अच्छा टाइम गुजरा। मतलब इवन आज तक मुझे याद नहीं कभी हम दोनों ने आपस में जोर से भी किसी को कुछ बोला, दोनों। आई डोंट रिमेम्बर।
मुझे जैसे मैं देखता था, मुझे देवरानी जिठानी से ज़्यादा
हम लोग को देख के
अच्छा
इवन हमारी कहती थी
बहनों का लगता
इशारों
था।
इशारों में क्या बात कर लेते हो आप लोग, और बात हो जाती है हमें पता ही नहीं चलता। तो हमारा तो बहुत ही अच्छा रहा और अच्छा रह रहा है।
जैसे वो मैंने भी देखा, जैसा होता है ना कि छोटी बहन बड़ी बहन वाला भी रहा। कभी कोई बात हुई, नीता ने इनसे गाइडेंस ली, या कभी कोई बात हुई तो समझाया। मतलब दोनों का बहुत ध्यान। रिश्ते की बात करी तो मैं देखा तो बहुत आपस में बहुत अच्छा हमेशा से रहा रिश्ता। अभी तक दोनों का कैरियर वाइज आपस में बहुत अच्छा रहा है। आपस में रिलेशंस, आपस में सोशल कॉन्टेक्स्ट सब बहुत अच्छा। तो यही ईश्वर से प्रार्थना है कि जैसा है दे शुड गो ऑन, और दे शुड बी हैप्पी फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ देयर लाइफ। हमेशा आप लोग
खुश रहें, स्वस्थ रहें, और इसी तरह हंसते रहें, हम लोग के साथ समय बिताते रहें इसी तरह बस।
I can only say Mubarak. I was there when she got married. In fact, I remember so clearly so many years back. I just had to come today. Wish them all the best, always.